the top of your notebooks, I want you to write commas in a series. The first rule that we're going to talk about with commas is that we use it in our writing when we are listing things, when it's more than two. If it's just two, all you have to say is and. But when we're making a long list, we have to do commas in a series. Let me show you what I mean. Here's some examples. Let me scoot this over so you can see. The first example says, I went to the pig. I'm talking about Piggly Wiggly, but we call it the pig. We went to the pig and bought cookies, peanuts, chips, and pizza. I just gave you a list of what I bought at the store. But what we use is commas to separate lists. I went to the pig and bought cookies, comma. Can you see that comma? Peanuts, comma. Chips, comma. And when we're listing the last ingredient or the last thing on our list, we add and we finish our sentence. Okay? Let's try another one. Write this down in your notebook. Her clothes were old, torn, and smelly. Well, I actually used 3 words to describe her clothes, so I have to separate it because in a way I have a list of adjectives. Her clothes were old, comma, torn, comma, and now we're ready for our last one, so we're going to say and smelly. All right, let's take a look at this one. I go to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, I've just listed days of the week, and I need to separate them with a comma. And then our last example is I like to read fiction, drama, sci-fi, adventure, and nonfiction. You know, as we're learning about rules, it occurs to me that maybe you don't know what a comma is. So at the top of your page, I'm going to go back up here. You know, how a period, when you see a period when you're reading, a period is like a red light. It means stop, okay? But sometimes we don't want to stop. We just want to pause or take a breath in our reading for different reasons. And that way, it's like the yellow light. Let me grab a yellow here. Our comma is like the yellow light at a stoplight because that just means slow down, not stop. We just want to pause. And I know that's hard to see. Pause, okay? P-A-U-S-E. I'll know how you can see it. I'm going to cover it with black, and then those letters will pop out. Okay? Pause. P-A-U-S-E. We're just going to slow down. So notice that. We're going to pause. And I also want to put in our notebook something that is very important about commas. You may not think these rules or anything is very important, but I just want to show you something that it is. So I'm going to flip to the back side of my notebook. My last entry was my llama back here. And I just want to remind you that commas are important. And this is the illustration I want to show you. So remember, I just said that commas mean we take a pause. And if we don't use commas, we may really confuse somebody. Watch this. You write this down too. I'm doing it twice because I'm going to show you the difference. I'm going to tell you right now that our comma is a life and death situation. My sentence says, let's eat Grandpa. Poor Grandpa. He's about to get eaten. But if we add the right punctuation, this sentence means something totally different. Let's eat Grandpa? Well, that sounds horrible. But let's eat, comma, Grandpa? Now we just invited him to dinner. Let's eat, Grandpa. We paused, but without the pause, Grandpa is gonna be dinner. So it's important. These punctuations are important in our writing. It's not okay to skip them. It's not okay to leave them out because sometimes your punctuation is the difference between life and death. It's important that we use it. Poor old Grandpa in this sentence is getting eaten, but here he's getting invited to dinner. Use your commas in the right place. That's why we need to learn these rules. Make sure that you have this illustration as well as these examples in your notebook.